Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. And today, try and work on some jewel puzzles for Boxy. So we have 8 puzzles remaining, 3 of which are not jewel puzzles, 3 of which are ordinary puzzles that we're hiding away. So there's a level 4, level 3, and I'll figure that one out in a bit. Let's do the 3. Okay, all regions are rectangular, yeah, the 2s certainly are. So this 4 has to be either like that or joining on through the other 4. Threes have to join together, apparently. Okay. Now, can I see? Whoa, that one's well hidden, and it's only a 2. All regions. All regions are rectangular, and must be one of these shapes, only one of which is rectangular. Difficulty 4. Can do that one. All regions must have different shapes. So one of the 6s is 6 by 1, and one of them is a 2 by 3, and one of the 4s is a 4 by 1. Interesting. And one of the 4s is a 2 by 2. Now, if the 2 comes out this way, then either we have a real mess up at the top here, or well, it can't be a 4 by 1, so this would have to be a 2 by 2. If the 2 goes vertically, then we could put that in there. Just come back a bit. If this is 6 by 1, it either goes this way, which breaks the 4s, or it goes that way, which doesn't immediately break the 4s. Because this one can still be 4 by 1. It can't. I don't think that's going to work. This would have to be a 2 by... can't be that way round. So it has to go that way around to avoid a 2 by 1. This now has to be a 2 by 2. If it's that way, we get 2 2 by 1s. And if it's that way, we get a 3 by 1, and yeah, we get duplicates, whatever. So I think this one has to be the 6 by 1, which could go that way. Or that way. if it goes that way, then we can do a 2x1 and do something different coloured colours, and a 3x1. Then 4x1, 2x3, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because we need either 1, 2 or 3x1. So if this is 4x1, this has to fill in here. So I don't like that as an idea. Do that, then we got another 6x1, or we can do a yeah. So what's systematic on this? Well, this has to take, it doesn't, because it could just go vertically 4x1. If this was horizontal, then that forces 2x3 and another 1x1, which doesn't work. And that forces a 2x1 or 1x1, which doesn't work. Let's try, if that was 2x3 like that, and that forces the 4x1 then, and that forces 2x2. This would have to be a 3x1. That would have to be the 2x, no, hang on, 6. It would have to be the 6x1. And then I got a 3x1, a 2x2. I don't see how any of that fits together. That's a 2x2. Six by one vertically. Yeah, does not. If that's a 2x1. The only way of doing 6s with this one being the 2x3 is to put a horizontal 6x1 above it. Make it another 1x1 or a 2x1 if I put that horizontally. And this one can no longer be 4x1. I don't see how to actually approach this one. That would force vertical 6, a 2 and a 3. I mean, let's just draw it in. It doesn't take too long to do. This cannot now go horizontally because that's another 2x2. Can't go vertically because we need another 3x1 here. I don't know what I wasn't seeing in that one. Okay, got there. Right, we have just these nice little ruby puzzles. 3, a 5, 6, a 5, another 6, 3. Boxy and mismatch. Oh, there's a 1 and a 2 already. What I'm looking at here is what happens if I just chop off these bits. So that's a 5x1, 4x1. Two by two, no, can't have another 2x1. Two by 3. So this square, it could be a 3x1. Otherwise it's in a 2x2. I think those are the only two options now that we've excluded the single monomino and the other one. If that was a 3x1, then up here we could have a 5x1 and a 4x1. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then what we have to do is split this area up so that nothing else is x by 1. Okay, there's a difficulty 5 here. All regions are rectangular and we have rose windows. This can reach one of these two. This can either reach that or that. I feel there has to be something that can only reach one. This one can reach one of those two. There is not obviously this. Now this one. 2x2, oh no, it's got 3 things it can reach. This either reaches down to here, or it goes across to there. No, we can go up to that one as well. Yeah, I think this one is the best bet. It could reach there, or it can reach there. But there's literally only those two options. If it did this one, then this is forced to there. That's forced. And that's forced. And that's forced across to there. This, I think, has to go to here, whatever. Right, I should have seen that one at the beginning. And I was looking to see what could only get to one thing. This could actually extend up another row. That can get to that, but if it does, this one is blocked off because this one now only has one place it can go. That can extend out another row if it needs to. I'm going to just do the same on this one. Okay, this is going to have to go up now. That, and we go to there, that one to there. This can only see that. This square can only be filled in from here, which forces that across to there. It's up to here. That's up to there. That has to see that red. This has to come up to make this bit boxy. That, there, that, there. That can extend up to there. And this one can fill the rest of the space. Ooh. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with that one, although it wasn't quite as methodically logical as it could have been. Okay, all regions are rectangular, and that's neighbouring regions must have different shapes. Right. Okay. So this could be a 4x1, in which case that one's a 2x2, and this becomes a 4x1, and that becomes a 4x1, and that's a 2x3, and that's a 2x2, but I don't know which direction it goes. Now the problem with any of this is I just broke the 6s, because I have to start with those 6s, not leave them till the end. Because this 6 is going to, I think, have to be horizontal 6x1, so I can do a 2x3. I can do are two 2x1s and 1x1s either end. I suppose I should have been paying attention to this. Okay, put that back to being that's another way of doing the 6s. No, that doesn't work. because this cannot be either of those two shapes. So in fact, yeah, if I fill that in, that would have to be vertical, would have to be that again, which doesn't work. So I don't think square in the corner works, because it forces that vertical and this one. And that puts two identical shapes next to each other. If that's that, that has to be straight. That has to be straight. That one has to be a 2x2, and that one has to be straight. And it can't be. Yeah, so if that's 2x2 in the corner, it doesn't work. If it's a vertical 4x1, that has to be a 2x2, that has to be a 4x1, and that has to be a 4x1. Yeah, going that way so it doesn't touch the other two. These have to be a 2x3, 6x1, and a 2x3, and a 2x1. That one has to be square. That's going to have to be 3. Okay, that works. Once I slow down a bit and actually try and follow what I'm doing. Okay, and mingle and rose. And rectangular. Wow. Okay, this either goes up to there or goes across to there. That doesn't help. Down to here or across to there. This can only see one blue pane. This can only see one blue pane. So those are both fixed. That goes either right or left. That goes left, that goes down, that goes down, that goes left, goes up, that goes up. If that goes right, that goes right, that goes down, that goes left, that goes left, that goes up. Okay, so we can get around these in a sort of line around the edge. That space is an interesting one to fill, as is that one. So that's the problem. If this goes up here, and that goes, and this space isn't fillable. That goes that way. Then this space is fillable now. So I have to do that. Now I got those ones together. Now I've got two 2x3s together. Okay, not actually too hard, just a case of ending up iterating a bit over which one at which size. And all regions are rectangular. All regions must have different shapes. So that's a something by one, this is a something by one. If I fill that, then I'm going to end up with another. So that's a 5 high. That's 4 high. That one would have to only be 3 high. It's 4 long and 2 long. Six high. Three by three. Five by one. I'm just trying to see if anything jumps out as being this is a way to decide the sizes of several areas. I suppose these blocks here have to be chopped up to a lesser extent. That one have to be chopped up somehow, because we can do 2 by 4, we can do 3 by 1 and 2 by 2, which is a problem up here. We do a 2 by 2 and then we get in a real mess chopping up the other end that doesn't get stuck. Okay, I think the 3 by 3 pretty well has to go in here, because I'm going to need one somewhere. I'm doing that as 6, 5 and 3 by 1 for the moment. Two by 3, 2 by 2, that's the largest rectangle you can put anywhere. Yeah. It would be a 2x5. A 2x2, 2x3. I can afford a 2x4 and a 2x5. Let's just try. That is the 2x5 and this one is the 2x4. That then becomes a 2x1. A 1x1, a 1x2. No, I've got a 1x2 and a 1x3. Can't do that. I'm going to 2x2 and a 2x3 and a 2x4. I run out on these ones. Got the 2x3 and the 2x2. I can only split it vertically. But I got two 3x1s. And just looking at it, I could make that 4x1. I know that breaks that for now. Splitting one 3x1 doesn't work because it's non-unique. I can do 6x1 in a variety of places, but that's the longest x/1 that I can do anywhere. No, I can do I could do a 7x1 here. But if I did, then I've broken this area. There's no way of filling it. So I can't do a 7x1. You can do a 6x1, and 3x1 and 2x2. Two by 4, 2x5, means I've used the 1 by 1. Okay, I used the 2 by 1 instead. And then put the 1 by 1 in there. That one can be 3 by 1. And I've got a 1, a 2, 3. I got two threes. Five, 4, 3, 2, 2 long and 6 long. The 3 long in, and that becomes another 2 by 2 if I do that. Oops. No, I can't 2 by 3 again. I can do 5 and 4, but then I've used 2, 5, 4. 3 and 1. And there's no way of chopping this bit up. If that's not 1 by 1, this has to extend up some indeterminate up to 6 spaces. You can put a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 2 here. We could put up 2 by 4 and a 2 by 5. Something has to split. So 2 by 3 and 2 by 2 and 2 by 4, 2 by 5, make that a single, and then I can have the vertical 5 and a 6 here and the horizontal 2. So that leaves me with strips of 3 and 4 that I can still do. And then that one can't do anything. I'm just going to look at that. Oh no, I put a strip of 3 here. And the thing is, I can put a strip of 4 in there quite happily. No, I can't, because that one needs to be 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2 also works for the individual strips. And then I can do a 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that then doesn't work because of that bit. So this is possibly not the approach. So I had this interesting thought that I can do a 7 by 1. Kind of forces that one to be the 2 by 4 that I need, but that breaks this. Is there any way I can fix it? No, because even when I did something longer out of there, why not 3 by 1? Five by 1 and 1 by 1 leaves me a 2 and a 6. Which isn't going to get me very far. There's the 6. Two by 4. There's 2 by 5. 2 by 2 and 3 by 3. Okay, I have no idea how I got to that, but Boxy window is jeweled. Oof. That was a bit messy. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again with another one.